This video will help you finish the carbon dioxide dissolved in soda pop lab that we started collecting the data for yesterday. If your group didn't have enough time to collect data or get all the data points, if your water bath didn't get hot enough, here's just some data that will work. It'll demonstrate temperatures increases over time. I think I have like 15 data points collected. So if you just want to pause the video, write down the temp in Celsius, notice the volume and gas collected. It should start at 0. And I mean, I understand in the graduated cylinder where you had you started down below 10, so you might have wrote like 10, 10, 10, 10, 11, 11, whatever. You need to subtract that initial amount from there because the gas collected at the beginning, you didn't have any gas. That other stuff in there was air that you introduced from the atmosphere. And so the volume of gas should start at 0. And then for this last column over here, what you do, the volume of dissolved CO2 in the soda pop, all you essentially do is you take the biggest number. So like in this example, and like I said, if you got good data, use your data, but this is just some miscellaneous data that'll work. But say I want to solve for this one, so I take the biggest number, 41, and I just subtract every number from it. So 41 minus 0, well, there were 41 milliliters of CO2 in the pop, and do that all the way and down. Then by the time you get to the last one, when you subtract the largest number minus this value, 41, there was none left in there. Okay, so that's going to show you the continuum. So how much, it's really just the inverse of this list. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video, write down these numbers, and then we'll go on. As far as the graphing goes, you're asked to perform 2 graphs. One of them you're comparing temperature versus time. And so notice for the first graph, we're going to have temperature over here on the y-axis, time on the x. And then as for the second graph, it says the volume of CO2 that's actually in the pop. So it's that last column from your graph. So on the second graph, that's going to be your dependent variable, the y. And then temperature is going to be your x this time. And so when you set up the graphs, I'll show you just real briefly what I want to see on the next slide. Okay, you're going to notice that you only have one piece of graph paper. That means divide it in half, okay? And leave a little room, but I want it to be, about the size of half the paper, but you need to label, your axes, what they are. Use as much of the half sheet as you can, so scale it so that you use the entire size, and then graph your data, and then use that to answer the following questions.